Are you earning less selling real estate than you wish you were? Are you open to the idea of having some help with that? I'm Bob Loeffler with Fearless Agent Coaching and Training, and I want you to know at Fearless Agent, if what we do is a good fit for you, we know how to get you there. So I want to create some videos, a series of videos to help you get there. And I just want to start by sharing some ideas that I think you may have noticed about the real estate industry. So one is, if at first you do succeed, it's your father's business. Have you ever noticed that some people get off to an amazing start, they have no problems, they're successful, and then you're wondering, why don't I have that? What's going on with me? Well, a surefire way, here's a two-step process to make $1 million in real estate sales. Please write this down. Number one, start with $900,000. Most people earn a small fortune in real estate by starting with a large one. They get into real estate, they buy a fancy car, they invest a bunch of money in marketing, and a year later they have less money than they started with. So this is for, what I'm going to talk about is perfect for people who started like I did with no money. I was broke, I was a high school dropout, I never went to college, my real estate car was a Harley, so I had a big afro, so I had everything going for me, obviously. But I think you notice there's people who have advantages maybe you don't have. And by the way, if you have those advantages, great. I didn't have them, but that's okay. But no matter where you are to begin in your real estate career or where you are in it, we're going to help you get off to a fantastic start. So again, one of the secrets to real estate sales is be careful who you copy. So my partner and I ended up being the top producing team for Century 21 in the whole state of Arizona. And new agents would come to our office and they would always go ask other people for advice. So they would find these people who had big fancy cars and live in $1 million houses, and then they would ask those people for advice, not realizing that those people didn't even make enough money selling real estate to make the payment on one of those cars. They never came and talked to us, and if they had, we'd have given them better advice, of course. So everybody wants to help you succeed when you're new or you're failing in real estate or struggling or not earning your full worth, but be careful who you copy. So one of the secrets to success in real estate, to me, is you have to have a commitment to being the very best you can be and a passion for learning more about it every day. Now, I'm about passioned out. If I watch YouTube videos, everybody's talking, I'm so passionate about this. You know, I've had it enough with the passion. I'm looking for skills, the schedule, and the systems of the Fearless Agent. If I'm failing or earning below my potential, it's not passion that's going to get you there. But if you're going to have passion about something, you've got to have a commitment to being the best you can be. And when I say be the best you can be, I'm talking about for your customer, for your seller, for your buyer, for your investor, and for you and your family. Be the best you can be and have a passion for learning more about that every day. So where would you go to learn more about that every day? Well, you're here. I'm going to teach you everything you need to know about selling real estate and making money over the course of this series of videos. And you can always go to fearlessagent.com, watch a bunch of videos there. You could go to my podcast, fearlessagentpodcast.com, and you can go to fearlessagent.tv, where you are now, and hit the subscribe button, and we'll be filling you in. So again, commitment to being the best you can be for your customers and learning more about it every day. That's the idea. I want to give you 4 more secrets that I learned as an agent. One of them is to think bigger. I think most people don't think big enough. So when I got into real estate, people would say, hey, Bob, what are your goals? And I'm thinking, I don't know, lunch? I don't know. I have no idea how to even think about it. So they would say, oh, listings are the name of the game, or you got a list to last and all this stuff. And I'm thinking, I don't really know what I'm doing. And that was hard. But I noticed that most realtors tend to think too small. And I'll give you an example. I've got a guy that I coach. His name is Tanner, very nice guy. And so he signs up with me when he's 1 week into the real estate business. So I gave him a goal. He didn't know what was possible. I said, I want you to do 40 listings. He said he wanted to focus on listings more than buyers from a personal lifestyle choice. Either would be fine. But he said he wanted to focus on listings. So I said, well, I'm going to give you the goal that I give everybody. So in our initial phone call, I said, I want you to do 40 listings. Please write this down, by the way. 40 listings at 7% and him keep 4%. Okay, so I kind of give that goal to almost every brand new, or people who are doing half that much or something like that. So 40 listings at 7%. Now he said to me, you know, I don't think I can do 40. And so when he said that, I thought, well, gee, he's got a little bit of self-doubt, which is a very healthy character trait. The people who are overconfident and they say, oh yeah, I'm brand new, but I've been in sales in the past and I know I can do 100 listings in my first year, they do 10. But this guy had a little self-doubt, and he was a nice guy, and he had this unusual quality. He said, Bob, I don't have any ideas of my own. I'm just going to do what you tell me to do. And I knew he was going to be successful. So he was right. He was not able to do 40. He did 120 listings in his first 12 months at 7% in a town where everybody else charges 5, maybe 6. And so obviously he's doing great. So what is that quality that he had? A little bit of self-doubt, but he started thinking bigger. So on his second year, obviously he's doing much better, but that's one quality I would want you to have, is just think that bigger things may be possible than you would ever imagine. And the other is to get trained. Now, almost all the training in the whole real estate industry is poisonously bad, and I took it. I've seen all these other coaches that you've seen, and they're all talking about your big why and all this baloney that doesn't matter, and accountability. You know, the last thing you need to worry about is your big why. Do you like money? Maybe that's reason enough why. Accountability is for people who don't know how to coach. Do you think airline pilots have accountability partners? Do you think brain surgeons have accountability? Are they going to say, hey, how many brain surgeries are you going to do today? They don't need accountability because they have skills. So I'm here to teach you the skills and the schedule and the systems of the fearless agent. And when you learn those, the last thing you're ever going to need is accountability. So getting trained is important, but what you need to get trained in is the right thing. So write them down. Skills of the fearless agent, the schedule of the fearless agent, the systems to put it all together and make it fun. That's what we're here to train you about. Another one is to be different, okay? So if you are going to go to a listing presentation and I know I'm coming in after you, then what do I want to do? Well, I want to talk about nothing that you're going to talk about. And I want to talk about things that I know you did not talk about. Being completely different than your competitors is the secret to winning the listings no one else can get. Is it true that all agents are the same? Do you think the general population out there thinks, hey, all realtors are the same? Well, if all realtors are the same, which one would you pick? That's right, the cheapest one. And really, they are all the same. The industry talks about all the same stuff. I just got an email, I think yesterday or maybe today, from the National Association of Realtors. And what was the headline in the email? It is trendy new colors. It had cans of paint with the trendy new colors. Help your buyers or sellers pick the colors. I think, oh my gosh, it's worse than I thought. Do they ever talk about real estate? Do they ever talk about how to make money in this business? If you watch what other agents do and what they talk about and do the exact opposite, you're going to make way more money. So don't go on a listing presentation and talk about anything that the other agent would talk about, and only talk about stuff that you know no other agent will ever talk about, and that's how you'll win the listing. And the other is to embrace technology. Now, when I was brand new in real estate, it was 1984, okay? Many of you were not born then, okay? So cell phones were brand new. So I bought the first car phone. It was actually attached to the car with a cord like a regular phone. So it cost $3,500 for that car phone. The car it was attached to might have cost $1,500, I don't know, but it was ridiculous. And each call was about $40.15, I think. Well, then they came out with a big portable, cell phone, this giant thing that you could beat somebody to death with late at night in a parking lot. It was $1,700 for that phone. Then they came out with a slimmer version of that would actually fit in your pocket. That was about $1,000. The funny thing about today is every technology is free and everybody's got it 10 minutes after it's invented. So you cannot compete with technology anymore. So you want to compete by having fewer technologies and only the ones that make a difference. So the phone, obviously, great technology, they keep improving it. There's never going to be a replacement for the phone, okay? You being really good on the phone is going to be your secret to success in this industry. And GPS, what a wonderful invention. We used to have maps in the car. We have to figure out where to go. So that's a good thing. And a CRM, right? You got to have a database where you keep your stuff and that kind of stuff. So the basics that are usable and not getting bogged down in technology is going to be one of the secrets to your success. So here's what I would like you to do. Over the course of these videos, I want you to think about simplifying your life, focusing on what really, really matters. So what really, really matters is you knowing what to say when you go on a listing presentation and you're meeting face-to-face with the seller, you knowing what to say when the seller is a for sale by owner, you knowing what to say about pricing, how to price them correctly, how to estimate the value of a house. Every realtor does that wrong. We teach you a completely different way of doing that, and we're going to talk about all of that stuff. You doing things differently than all other agents. Knowing what to say when you meet with a buyer, getting that buyer to agree to be loyal to you, sign the buyer broker agreement before you ever search the MLS or show a single house. You knowing what to say to an investor. And I'm not talking about fix and flippers. I'm talking about real investors with real money that are going to buy and hold properties. When you know what to say in those situations, so we teach you listing, pricing, FSBO, buyer, investor presentations, how to present offers to people. You're going to be learning all of that as a fearless agent. So if you'd ever like to contact me, I'm not one of these coaches that pawns you off on some lower functionary that has never been trained in sales like every other coach. You can call me directly anytime, 480-385-8810. If you're a company owner and you'd like to have an event, a Fearless Agent event for your company, call me, 480-385-8810. If you're trying to recruit producing agents to your company and you'd like to learn how, call me. Go to fearlessagent.com. Watch my podcast at fearlessagentpodcast.com, but always pick up the phone and call me at 480-385-8810. And please stay tuned to the next video because I want to make you a fearless agent. Thanks.